Oh, that's just weight reduction. Welcome to the second episode of the Rusty Miata project. We are very excited to be back in action and back in business. We hope you've all been staying safe and staying smart during this time. All right, so let's get right into it. During this time, I've been able to head down to Worldwide Manuals on a few separate occasions to continue work on my project. So here's what I've done so far. First, I took out the old, rusty, smelly, and rattly catalytic converter and replaced it with a new cat. And I saved a whole bunch of money by buying one of those catalytic converters that's not legal in California, but I don't think this car will ever be driven in California, so yeah, that's cool, whatever. Following that, I took a look at the spark plugs and I found a small ecosystem in a few of them, as well as a whole bunch of oil in cylinders 3 and 4. So I spent a whole bunch of time cleaning that out and replaced those with some brand new ones that hopefully won't have oil on them the next time I check. And I got some new wires as well. Now my valve cover is blue and orange. Let's go Mets. Next up, I finally gave this car a new fender, so it is now a full car rather than 3/4 of a car, so that's pretty cool. I got a brand new unpainted replacement fender for super cheap, around $80. It went on relatively easily, and you know, I had to sneak in some zip ties here and there, but it's a project car. What project car doesn't have a bunch of zip ties all over the place? Before I put that new fender on, I had to do some body work because I'm guessing the last one was torn off in a tornado or by some sort of wild animal, so there are still pieces of it left behind. I'm still trying to solve that mystery. And then finally, I fixed the idling problem with a $3 part. All it took was a PCV valve, so I put that in and...
Is there any smoke? No smoke.
No. It's not surging. It's not like yelling. It's not revving at like 3. I've never heard it run this normally before in my life. And then some time passed, and then I did something completely irresponsible. Being quarantined for a little while actually gave me some time to do a lot of learning and make a whole ton of progress, so let's go take a look. What's up, Kazi? How you doing? Alright, so this is my update for episode 2 to my 1997 Mazda Miata. So the first thing you're going to notice is that it's blue now. So what I did was paint it blue. It's the original Mariner blue from the first generation Miata. Another thing you're going to notice, if you decide to look up the VIN, you're going to see that this car is 4 years older. I actually went to an independent contractor who aged this vehicle by 4 years. So there's actually a 1.6 in there rather than the 1.8, and it has way more miles on it. So I didn't really want the more mileage, but you know, they did a really nice job at aging it. And by aging it and traveling back in time, the rust went away. So it's a rust-free. Never mind. Still a rusty Miata, which means I could still keep my PlayStation Network name. Yeah, so long story short, I sold it and bought a different one. I listed mine on Facebook, and this guy came all the way from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania to buy it, and he's already done a whole bunch of work to it. He's cut away all the rust and filled in the body panels, and he's gonna do some engine work next, and it's nice to see it go to somebody who's gonna be able to take care of it and bring it back to life and kind of live out the vision that I had for it. But yeah, anyway, the reason why I sold it is because a friend of mine was listing his, that blue 1993, and it was too clean for me to pass it up, and it was too good for me to miss out on. So I ended up buying it, and I don't regret it at all. I absolutely love this car. Sure, it's not a project anymore, but it is such a fun car. It is so clean, and it's such a blast to drive. It's on its stock suspension, so it has a whole bunch of body roll. The transmission is great, and it's got that 1.6, so there's a little bit less power, but it's still a ton of fun. So this car leaves me with a lot of options. I could leave it stock and drive it the way it was meant to be driven. I could throw on some enhancements like better suspension and a little bit more power. And what I won't do is turn it into an Instagram Miata. And what that is your typical NA that's stanced, has replica wheels with stretched tires, a straight pipe, an eBay turbo probably, halo lights or sleepy eyes, a fake wood grain steering wheel, and a bunch of stickers that say how depressed you are. So jokes aside, that leaves me with two choices. Do I keep it stock or do I have a little bit of fun with it? Anyway, thanks for checking in. Thanks for watching. We got a whole bunch of more stuff on the way. We got 2 new cars that you could check out in our previous video that we're gonna have a whole bunch of fun with. And I'm gonna have a whole bunch of fun with this brand new Miata. So stay tuned. We got a lot more content and cars coming soon. Stay safe.